Hi guys, welcome back to Ravers Mead. I thought today I would do a video for you guys all about homemade fly sprays. Now it is about mid-April here right now. We're just sort of getting into bug season. This year's been a bit weird actually because we've had some really late frosts, which is a bit strange, bit of an odd year. But we've definitely noticed that on the hot days we had lots of bugs out now. My cat comes to say hello every time. You can say hello, Billy. You can say hello? You don't want to talk now, huh? Come on. You go. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so we've definitely noticed some different insects coming out on the warmer days now. Midges are the worst bug that we get around here, and they are the worst culprit at the moment. I was just going through my fly sprays the other day and I realised that I don't have much of anything made up ready. I do make the majority of our fly sprays myself. I use essential oils. It's so easy to do it. For years and years we used to buy like the Citronella spray, and you can get all sorts of different like naturally based fly sprays from shops and online and stuff like that. And I just find they're so expensive, and one day I decided to sit down and do some research into it, and I actually found out that they're literally essential oils mixed in with water. And then I did a little bit more research and I figured out that I could actually make my own versions of those for a fraction of the price. So that's what I'm going to sort of show you guys today. Obviously the most common one that people tend to buy is the Citronella oil, and there's a few different companies that make one. So what I've done is I went out and I've just bought, there's loads of different companies that do essential oils for skin. You want to make sure that it's one that's suitable to be used like on the skin. There's various different grades of essential oils out there, so you want to make sure that it's one that's safe to use on skin. But I've got this one. So this is a 100ml bottle. And yeah, they usually cost somewhere in the region of about £7 to £15 for something like this. And this goes a long way. I mean, you buy a bottle of fly spray and you're usually looking somewhere around the £10 mark. You know, where I live, that's a lot of money for one bottle of fly spray. If I go out and buy this, I can make lots of bottles of fly spray, and that's exactly what I do. So I've got Citronella oil here. This one's really good for keeping midges away. It smells really nice, so that's always a bonus. I've got a few different things here that I tend to use on a regular basis. I like to use lavender oil as well. What I tend to do is I'll do a Citronella and lavender oil mix. This I find is quite good for keeping away my cat's jumping all over the place. This I find is quite good for keeping like your typical little black flies, you know, the ones that you always get around the eyes on the horse's face. This is quite good for keeping those away, so I like lavender oil. And the bonus of lavender oil as well is that it's actually a natural calmer. You'll always find that people put lavender oil on their pillow if they want to go to sleep. It's because it's really relaxing and it has exactly the same effect on your horses. So I like using this not only for the bug repellent properties, but because it does help to calm them down as well, so that's really nice. What else have I got here? Tea tree oil. This is another nice natural bug repellent. This one tends to be pretty universal. I use it regardless of what kind of bugs are out. This I particularly like because it's got properties in it that are very good for the skin and for the hair. You'll find lots of beauty products with tea tree oil in them. So this has got the added bonus again of being nourishing for the skin as well as being a bug repellent, so I always use that one. Peppermint oil. I love peppermint oil. Again, this smells really nice. This I find is really good for keeping away like your typical black flies again. And yeah, I just really like the smell of this one, so that's kind of why I use that. But it is an effective bug repellent. Peppermint and mint in general are good for repelling most bugs. They just don't seem to like it much. I've got clove oil as well, clove bud oil. Now this one I find is really, really good for horseflies. I mean, what I'm describing to you is what I found tends to work best in my area. There's so many different oils out there. I mean, if you go on the internet and go on Google or something and you can do research into this, you can research about what kind of bugs you have in your area and you can find out what sort of things are recommended to repel them and try them out. This is just the things that I've sort of settled on for where I am that I find work really well. But it's always worth doing a bit of independent research, doing a bit of experimenting and figure out what works in your area. But yeah, clove oil for us around here, this is really good for keeping horseflies away, and this actually has like numbing properties. So I find if the horses have been a bit irritated, if they've been bitten or they're a bit itchy, this can actually help to relieve that irritation as well, because it does have that sort of numbing effect. Sort of an old-fashioned remedy I think was to put clove oil on your gums if you've got toothache, or in your tooth if you've got toothache. So I mean, I've done that once just to see if it worked, and it did work, but it tasted absolutely disgusting. So I wouldn't recommend putting it in your mouth personally, because ugh, yuck. But it has that same effect on the skin. If you put it on something that's a bit sore, a bit painful, it will help to relieve that. And the other one I've got here today is aloe vera. Now, I don't think that this is actually a bug repellent at all. I don't know if this repels anything. That's not what I use it for. I just put this one in a lot of my fly sprays for its soothing properties. Obviously everyone knows that aloe vera is really soothing for the skin, so that's why I use that. I will tend to put something like that in with all of my bug sprays, just because, you know, I'm spraying that stuff on them anyway. I may as well put something good for their skin in it while I'm at it. So yeah, that's everything I've got here today. So I've got some citronella, some lavender, tea tree, peppermint, clove and aloe vera. Now all I do with these is I will literally take, I mean this is it, and I've got some bottles here of water. So all this is essential oil and water, and you just need a spray bottle. It's literally that easy. So what I will do is I'll get some old bottles like this. This is just an old spray bottle. I don't even know what was in it, to be honest. It's been cleaned out, so I know it's safe to use on the horses. And I have filled it with water. There's just plain water in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put some of my essential oils in it. Now, if you go online again, there will be all sorts of different recipes and different quantities for how much oil you want to put in and what combination of oils you want to put in. My personal opinion is just experiment with it. What I usually do is I will make a citronella spray. I usually put lavender in with my citronella spray just because I like the combination. It seems to work a little bit better. So I'm going to do a lavender and citronella spray today. I'm going to do, see, some of these have writing on them from what I had in them last year. So that was my citronella and lavender bottle from last year. Like I said, I loved that combination. And last year I also had, I did a clove and peppermint combination. Now that worked really, really well for those horrible black flies, and it worked really, really well for horse flies as well. So I'm going to do those same two combinations again. So let's get started with, let's do the citronella and lavender one first. So this is just, I guess, a 500ml bottle, I think this is. Again, I don't know what this was used for. This is probably an old fly spray bottle. I've had this for years now. I tend to reuse stuff because if I can reuse it, I'm going to reuse it. So this just has water in it. I'm going to take the top off. As I said, if you go online, there are so many different like recipes and suggestions for quantities. I would say just experiment with it and see what works for you. For me, I will tend to do it by smell. That's really unscientific and it's probably very unhelpful for you, I know. This is the part where it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Yeah. That's going to be really slow, so I am just going to pop that top off of there, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. I know roughly how much I want. Oh wow, that's stuck on there. Hey, there we go. Right. So it's just got one of these little like dosage things in it, but yeah, it's coming out way too slow, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour a glug in here. Now that doesn't smell massively strong to me, so I'm going to put a tiny bit more in. Right, that'll probably do it. I'm not going to push that back in yet, just in case I decide I want some more out of there. And I'm going to put some lavender in as well. Oh, this smells so nice. This one's coming out way better. Okay, so that is my oil in my bottle of water. I'm going to put the lid on. Now the key with this, when you're making these, is that you have to make sure you shake it really, really well. Obviously this is oil and water. Oil and water don't mix willingly, so you're going to have to shake this to get an idea of whether or not it's strong enough. And you want to make sure you shake it really, really well every time you go to use it as well. Otherwise, obviously your spray is right, your sprayer is right down the bottom here, so it's drawing liquid from the bottom of the bottle. If you don't shake this before you use it, you're just going to be drawing water because the oil is going to be sat on top. So you need to give it a really, really good shake to make sure that it's all mixed in. And just try it. I think I want that a little bit stronger. So yeah, I definitely want that a bit stronger. So I'm going to pour a bit more citronella in here. And I'll give it another shake. Better. I still think I want a little bit more in there. Okay, so looking at the contents of my bottle, I've just put in to that about half of what I had left in here. So I would say, looking at this, is probably about 10 ml of essential oil for a bottle of this size. That's about what I've just put in here. And obviously I've put some lavender oil in on top of that as well. So somewhere between 10 and 20 ml of oil per, I think that's a 500 ml, so per 500 ml of water seems to be about right. Like I said, what I will do is I will go ahead and find some more scientifically proven recipes for you guys and go ahead and put those in the description down below, just for anyone who likes to have things a bit more black and white. I'm somebody who's very much chuck it in and see. I don't tend to play by many rules. I don't tend to follow recipes super strictly or anything like that. So I will get an idea in my head of what's kind of meant to be in something, and I'll try it and I'll tweak it to make it how I like it. That's just how my brain works. And then once I've figured out how I like it, I will just do what I'm doing today. I will get my stuff out and I will just put a few glugs in give it a sniff, give it a test, see what I think of it, and adjust it however I see fit. But I completely understand that that will probably drive a lot of people absolutely insane, the fact that I do that. Oh yeah, that's done it. That's better. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, somewhere between 20 and 30 ml of oil to a 500 ml bottle. That is gorgeous now, that's perfect. So that is my citronella and lavender done. Now, I sprayed that one on myself to test it because I know that smells nice. I really don't want to spray the peppermint and clove one on myself because it stinks. I mean, it does a great job, but it's not something you want to be wearing around with you all day. So maybe like get a piece of cloth or a towel or something to spray it on to test it with that one if you're going to make this one, because trust me, you don't want to be walking around smelling like this all day. So I want my clove oil and my peppermint oil. So I am just going to go ahead and pop these little things off again, and I'm just going to pour it in like I did last time, because I know roughly how much I want now. I've not got an awful lot left in this bottle actually. Which one's this? Peppermint. Yeah, I've not got much of this one left, but actually this has got a much more potent smell than the citronella, so maybe I'll put, I won't put as much of this in to start with. So if I go for about 5 ml, I think. And the clove oil again. This bottle has lasted me for years. I've had this for about 2 years now. This is its 3rd summer actually, and because it is so strong and it's so stinky, you don't use a lot of it. Ow! I just stabbed myself with a hoof pick. But yeah, because it's so strong, you don't use a load of it, and so it goes a really long way. So this is definitely getting the most out of your money with this one. And oh man, I just got clove oil all over my hand. It smells. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. So I put about 5 ml of the peppermint in that one and about 10 ml of the clove oil. So that is that stinky horrible one done. I'm not going to spray that on myself because I can smell just from inside the bottle that that is absolutely fine. So that's that one done. And I have got 2 spare bottles. Now what I usually do with this one is I will just put lavender oil in here, and when the horses come in from the stables when we're in the middle of summer and it's stinking hot and it's really buggy outside and they're being eaten to death and they're irritable and they come in and start throwing themselves all over the walls, I will go in and just mist some lavender spray around their stables, and it really settles them down like really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some just lavender oil in this one, because this has been fantastic over the years, really helpful. Plenty of that, so that was about 20 drops of that in this tiny little bottle here. That's that one done. And I have an extra bottle this year, and I don't know what I want to put in this one yet. I think in the past I've done a tea tree and citronella combination. In fact, you know what? That sounds better. Let's do a tea tree and citronella one. I like the sound of that. If I can get the lid off, of course. I'm going to put a good glug of that in. And whoops, citronella oil. Now there's hardly any of this left now. There's probably about 10 ml left in the bottle, so I'm just going to pour all of that in at this point. That's that one gone. And actually this is a really good example. I don't know if you can quite see that, but you've got all the water down here, and this little line here, that's all the oil. So now you can see what I mean when I say you have to shake this before you use it, because all of that essential oil that I've just put in there is sitting on top. And now you can see it's all mixed in. So you want to shake and spray. Oh no! It leaked on me! Oh yeah, that smells fantastic. Right, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Okay, so we have a tea tree in citronella. That'll be nice. Right, so that is about it for today, guys. So I've got my citronella and lavender. I've got my clove and peppermint. I've got my citronella and tea tree. And I've got my calming lavender spray. Now, sometimes I will mix things up a bit and I'll do some different combinations. I have used some other oils in the past. I may well try some different oils in the future. But generally speaking, this works really, really well for us. I find another really good thing with this is because you can change your recipes around and you can switch which oils you're using. I find you don't get as much sort of resistance from the bugs. So I find in the past when we use the same bug spray all summer, they tend to get to a point where they stop caring about it and they get resistance to it and they bite the horses anyway. With doing this, you can adjust the strength of it, you can adjust your recipe, you can introduce different scents and different oils into it, and I find you really don't get that problem as badly. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. My super casual little bit of information about homemade fly sprays for you all. I hope this was helpful for someone out there, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.